Most evangelicals today, and even some historical Protestants, believe that good works play no role in our justification and salvation, and they fall under the incorrect teaching of antinomianism. However, this is not the historical Protestants' teaching concerning good works. Protestants have always taught that good works do contribute to our justification and salvation. These are a few testimonies. Erasmus Sarcerius, Commonplaces of Scripture. Contraries to justification be these: to say justification can stand or endure without the sequel of good works, to deny that the preaching of justification without the final effect of good works is root of all mischief. Girolamo Zanchi, De Religione Christiana Fides. And therefore when we speak only of this inherent righteousness, we deny not but that a man is justified by good works, and not of faith only. That is, he's made more and more just. Zacharias Ursinus' commentary on the Heidelberg Catechism. Good works are necessary to salvation, not as a cause to the effect, or as merit to a reward, but as a part of salvation itself, or as an antecedent to its consequent, or as a means without which we come not to the end. John Ball, A Treatise on the Covenant of Grace. Actual good works of all sorts, though not perfect in degree, are necessary to the continuance of actual justification, because faith can no longer lay faithful claim to the promises of life, then it doth virtually or actually lead us forward in the way to heaven. John Calvin, Institutes, Book 3, Chapter 17. The good works done by believers are counted righteous, or, which is the same, are imputed for righteousness. Edward Lee, Body of Divinity. Justification is never perfected till the day of judgment, Act 3:19. Then sentence is passed in open court before men and angels. Barthold Holtzfuss, On Good Works of the Supernatural Order. Good works are necessary for salvation for all adults who have the time and occasion for living piously, not by a necessity of causal efficiency, as if they, like a physical cause, by a true influx properly affect, produce, and operate our justification and salvation. John Davenant, Treatise on Justification. Good works are necessary for retaining and preserving a state of justification, not as causes, which by themselves affect or merit this preservation, but as means or conditions, without which God will not preserve in men the grace of justification. The reason why all these things are necessarily required on our part is, that if these exercises are interrupted, then their opposites, which are contrary to the nature of a justified man, begin to occupy their place. But these acts do not properly and of themselves preserve the life of grace by securing the effect itself of preservation, but indirectly and incidentally by excluding and removing the cause of destruction. Anthony Burgess, Vindicia Legis. A living faith justifies not in its active state, but in its act of apprehending and laying hold upon Christ. On the other hand, faith's second notable act is to purify and cleanse the heart and stir up other graces. In this sense, some learned individuals argue that good works are necessary to preserve a person in the state of justification, though they do not immediately contribute to that act. Richard Baxter. These good works that are our obedience to the law of Christ are but the performance of our baptismal covenant and the fruits of faith, without which it is dead hypocrisy, and are of absolute necessity to salvation to all that have time to do them. William Ames, Marrow of Sacred Divinity. But there is this difference, that past sins are remitted by a formal application, but sins to come are remitted only virtually. Past sins are remitted in themselves, but sins to come are remitted in the subject or person who is sinning. Louis Leblanc, Theological Thesis. Nevertheless, those who are partakers of the grace of Christ remain always debtors to the law. That is, they are obliged to render true and sincere obedience to the law, without which they can neither escape eternal death nor attain heavenly life and glory. Bishop William Forbes, Considerationes. Justification certainly is a continuous act, which is and lasts so long as the acts of living faith endure, but is broken off always, and as often as they cease, contrary to the duty of Christian piety. Hence, it is clear that Protestants have always taught that good works do contribute to our justification and salvation.